Now, we just saw what happened at Baylor, right? We've seen what's happened at Baylor and what is still happening with Baylor. Obviously, in the Southeastern Conference, there's one team that has not paid attention to it, and that's Mississippi State University. Now, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey on Friday disputed the characterization by Mississippi State Athletic Director Scott Stricklin of the league office being, quote, comfortable with the university decision to allow Jeffery Simmons to enroll and play football for the Bulldogs. This is what Greg Sankey said, quote, I would say awareness and comfort are two different things. It is an institutional decision. The characterization of comfort with Mississippi State's decision is not a characterization I would provide, end quote. Basically saying, you guys are not paying attention to what's going on, and you're somehow comfortable with this is shocking and disturbing to me. Now, Jeffery Simmons is a defensive end prospect who signed with the Bulldogs in February. He was arrested in March and charged with simple assault and disturbing the peace after a video emerged on social media that appeared to show him hitting a woman several times after she fell to the ground. He is still awaiting legal resolution of this incident. I believe I have this video on YouTube. I was talking about it when it happened and saying, this guy, can't go to school or he can't play because the video clearly, and I know it says appeared to show him. No, it's clearly him, and it clearly shows him hitting the woman multiple times. Now, at Baylor, of course, we had the sexual assault, which, takes a different, they're both extremes. We're not going to compare the two, but they're both extremes. And now we see this with Jeffery Simmons. And Mississippi State on Thursday, they allowed Simmons to enroll, which I don't have a problem with that. He can enroll. The problem is that he will still play football, but there's conditions attached. And these are the conditions. It's a 1-game suspension served in the season opener, which I should have looked up. That is my fault. That's unprofessional. I should have looked up who they played the first game. And I'm sure it's some weak team, some FCS team that doesn't matter. And I could be completely wrong. It could be like Ole Miss or something. But it's 1-game suspension. And of course, Mississippi has to be the longest word. State football schedule. All right. Among the conditions, Simmons will be evaluated by licensed professionals at the university's student counseling services and will be required to complete any program prescribed by that office. Sounds good. The problem is that he's still going to play majority the whole season. So, yeah, exactly. The first game for Mississippi State is against South Alabama, which is an FBS team. They're in the Sun Belt. But by majority, you're probably saying South Alabama. Most of you probably thought it was, a Division II, or not Division, FCS school, and or you knew it was just it's a small school. It's not a good football school. No disrespect to them, but they're just who they are. Why not suspend them for the first 4 games? Why not suspend him for the entire year? Make him learn his lesson. Sure, he put up that, that he's sorry and all that. You better be. This is just not enough. A 1-game suspension for a guy who was videotaped clearly hitting a woman, a defenseless woman, multiple times. And 1-game suspension. You're going to have to talk. You're going to have 30-minute counseling sessions and just, do a little bit of community service, and you'll be all right. It's ridiculous. What example are we setting? Where are we drawing are we saying, okay, once you rape a woman, then and only then will you be kicked off the team and off the university? But other than that, do anything you want to do and you'll be all right. I mean, where is the line? Where is it where it's not okay to do something special? And then you get caught, and we're still saying, 1 game suspension. It's just South Alabama. They don't need him for South Alabama. Why not suspend him against LSU? Why not suspend him against Auburn? Why not suspend him against Ole Miss, against Alabama? It's just ridiculous. 1 game suspension, and supposed to be evaluated by the university student counseling services. It's ridiculous. Now, the SEC, they already have a current bylaw on serious misconduct, but the problem is it's only for transfer players. Those who have been convicted or pled guilty or no contest to a felony involving serious misconduct at any point after enrollment at a college institution. And again, however, the rule does not apply specifically to incoming high school players. Now, when head coach Dan Mullen was asked why Simmons received a 1-game suspension and wasn't forced to sit out a year and prove himself, Mullen had the nerve and the audacity to say, quote, "That was all an administration decision," end quote. Who is the administration in this? Is it the athletic director? Is it the school administration? The admissions administration? Who is saying a 1-game suspension and some counseling and he should learn his lesson for hitting a woman multiple times? That is nothing. And I get Mullen earlier said, and I didn't add it on here, but I remember him saying, and I'll paraphrase in here, that we don't want to give up on this kid. We want to give him a chance. We want him, be able to not just kick him while he's down and, show him, hey, this is what you did wrong. We're going to guide you on the right path. We don't want you to go down a dark path. I get that. I'm okay with him enrolling into school, which that might be a problem in itself, and maybe I need to change my mind on that. But I'm okay with, not wanting him just to kick him completely and say, all right, well, you screwed up. Sorry, you're gone. We're not going to help you at all. I get it, but only if this guy, Jeffery Simmons, is suspended the entire year. I mean, technically, even with that, he could just redshirt the entire year, and that way he doesn't lose a year of eligibility. But at least this way, something is taken away from him. He goes through all this supposed counseling and some community service and any program that is prescribed by that student counseling services office, and make him learn and take something away from him. Limit the amount of practices he can do. Set an example for all the young athletes out there, whether they're a freshman in high school or they're a senior in college, and tell them, we are drawing the line. You screw up and do something this stupid, we will take something away from you. Something that you love, because you obviously need to learn. This guy is going to have some legal issues as well. They're still awaiting legal resolution to this incident. He might go to jail. And then none of this matters. But something's got to be done. I know the SEC and Greg Sankey, how he feels about this, and I'm sure they're going to do something that will restrict freshmen coming in. Because of all the things that have been happening around the college football landscape. Not just at Baylor, not just at Mississippi State. Boise State kicked off 2 players after they, I believe, sexually assaulted a woman. This happened all over the place. But there needs to be a strong example. This is where Mississippi State had the opportunity to set an example right here, pretty solid big school, and say, look, you do something like this, this is what's going to happen to you. If you don't like it, shouldn't have done it. And this is going to happen to everyone else across the country who makes this stupid mistake. I mean, I that's all I have to say. I know I wasn't supposed to rant. I kind of did, but that's just how I feel. And I believe, and I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I believe a lot of people are going to agree with what I said and probably add on to it. And I love to hear it. Follow me on, or tweet me at Twitter at Short Sports Show, and let me know, because that's it. Move on.